Well, hello. Today I'm in Unthank Road in Norwich. The people of Eaton who live around here will recognise this view, but do they ever think of the big house which was situated at the end of Judge's Drive? Okay, we're now going to walk up Judge's Drive through these lovely gates. It's a lovely driveway. In the early 1800s, the gentry of Eaton and also of Norwich would sweep up this driveway in their horse and carriages to be entertained by the judge and his lady in their lovely home, Eaton Hall. The hall was built round about 1800 for Alderman Jonathan Davey, who also built Davey Place in the city. It was also used as a judge's lodgings during the late 1800s, hence the name Judge's Drive and Judge's Walk. Right, we've now come to the top of Judge's Drive, and it goes round there to some of the houses, but this is where the carriages would have come, because if you see that fence there, that is fencing off Eaton Hall. They would have swept up in front of Eaton Hall, these carriages, to allow their occupants to alight at the front door and be greeted by their hosts. So if we go along here, you can't see much, but this is where Judge's Drive used to go. In both the 1871 and 1881 censuses, the occupants were a Henry B. Miller and his family and their 6 servants, who were employed to look after Mr. Miller, his wife and his 8 children. And they would be in the hall. Because of the trees, the leaves on the trees, you can't actually see it. On the 1881 census, you can see George Savage living in the Lodge Cottage, and he is listed as a coachman, and one son as a groom and the other as a gardener. They would all have no doubt worked for Henry Miller. So there we are. That's where Judge's Drive now ends. I say you can't see very much through there because of the trees and the other buildings. But we'll now go back down Judge's Drive. In the 1852 Kelly's Directory, Eaton Hall is still listed as being in Unthank Road, and the occupant is a Frederick Ray Eaton. But by the 1958 Kelly's Directory, Eaton Hall was listed as being in Pettit's Road, where it is today, and it's listed as a hostel for the aged. So let's go down, further down, or go out of Judge's Drive now. A very nice man has just come out of one of the houses, I think to see what I was doing, but I told him I was just doing a video on the history of Eaton Hall, and he was quite happy with that. So let's go now and see if we can actually find Eaton Hall. Okay, right, we've come round to Pettit's Road, and as you can see behind us there, or hopefully you can see behind us there, is where we were a few minutes ago in Judge's Drive. Now we're the other side, and we're going to walk towards Eaton Hall. Before we go, I'll just point the camera through the railings to show that that's where we came from. So now we go round, and there's more housing being built here, but this is where the drive would have swept through from there. It would have swept up here, and here, just coming into view, is Eaton Hall. So you can see that the driveway, well, you can see the footpath of the old driveway, and here is Eaton Hall. Outbuildings over there that belong to it. But I do think it's very sad that today the once grand Eaton Hall, it's now known as Eaton Old Hall, is totally isolated from Eaton itself. Its once grand entrance from Judges Drive is blocked off, and its address today is in Herd Road and can only be accessed via Pettis Road. But yes, there's all sorts of building gone on here, all around it. But there is its grand entrance. I don't think there's any plaque or anything saying anything about it, but it is all flats now. Yes, there it is. Yes, a lot of building gone on around here. It was a lovely house. Well, it is a lovely house. But I do feel it is so sad that the once mighty, well, not mighty, I don't think that's quite the word, but lovely house belonging to the judge is now here like this. Now you see, this would have been part of it through here. I'm not sure about the white bit, but there are walls there. But yes, today it's owned by Broadland Housing Association, and as we've just seen, is divided into flats and used for social housing. But there we are. We'll see if we can have another look in through the front door again. There we are. I don't know whether you can see that or whether there's too much reflection, but there's the staircase, and that would have been the entrance hall. But there we are. That is the story of Eaton Hall, the once quite magnificent house.